Hey there, everybody! Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video, we'll be breaking into this week's deals and discounts, plus a bonus cash, and it's actually pretty good involving the Acid Lab. So I'll be letting you know everything you're going to want to know, and a little bit more in-depth than YouTubers like TGG or GTA Men. So let's start off with this week's podium vehicle, the Dinka Conjo SJ. Featuring a top speed of 107 miles per hour, makes it pretty damn slow in the Coupe's class, as we can see, and it's also pretty awful in terms of lap time. The only thing this car's got going for it is decent customization. I personally would not recommend to get your hands on this vehicle, though. There's really nothing all too impressive about it. We have the Fudo GTX, which is this week's prize ride. To get it, you have to finish top 5 3 days in a row. And it's also not a very impressive car. It has one of the worst lap times out of the sports class and one of the worst top speeds. So once again, this is really not a vehicle that's anything too impressive. It does have cool customization. It has some liveries, but if you don't care too much about the customization on the vehicle, I don't know. I don't really think there's much of a reason to buy it. Or should I say earn it. I would much rather just not focus too much on this. Spend your time earning some cash doing the Cayo Perico heist or the Acid Lab this week, because you'll probably have a little bit more fun. Now we have the Halloween discounted vehicles, and it's the same vehicles as last week and the week before. So we have the Brigham, which is pretty average. Wouldn't recommend to buy this. It's 1.5 million, and personally, I think it's a waste of cash. We have the Lurcher, which is on sale. The Lurcher is quite a bit cheaper. It's normally 650,000. This week you can get it for 450,000. It's also pretty average. It's cool if you like Halloween style vehicles, but it's not very fast. It doesn't have very good lap time. It's pretty mediocre. The Rat Rod, I'm not even going to break into because it's so useless. And the Sanctus is pretty cool. The Sanctus is a motorcycle, but even this is a very expensive purchase of 1.9 million. Even on discount, it's still around 1.5 million, and it doesn't really give you anything too special. I mean, its lap time is pretty average. Its top speed is pretty average. It's not the best motorcycle, but it does look very cool. So this is definitely my favorite of the Halloween vehicles. Now we actually break into new vehicles that are discounted this week. We have the Anis Euros, which is a pretty cool vehicle. The Euros achieves a top speed of 117.25 miles per hour, but it's pretty slow, and its lap time is only 49th out of the 109 sports cars. Not very good there. It's pretty expensive at 1.3 million. This week you can get it for 1.26 million if you have the discount, which is based off the 1.8 million dollar price. So with the trade price, it's probably closer to 900-ish thousand, 850,000. It's pretty expensive for a car that's not very impressive in its overall performance. Yeah, can't really say there's much of a reason to get your hands on the Euros, apart from it being a Nissan Fairlady. So if you like the design, you can pick it up. But yeah, there's really not too much going for it. We have the Sterling GT, which I would recommend to get your hands on. The Sterling GT has multiple things going for it. First of all, it is an HSW vehicle, so you can upgrade it to the HSW Sterling GT, which goes 156 miles per hour, making it the first fastest in the sports classics category, the fourth fastest in sports, and third out of 9 HSW cars. So it's pretty dang fast. Its lap time also puts it second out of the 45 sports classics and 8th out of the 109 sports. So this is a very quick HSW car. It is one of the best HSW vehicles to get your hands on. Sterling GT, I think, is going to be at Simeon's, if I'm not mistaken. It's normally 975,000 to buy, and this week you can pick it up for 682,000. So a pretty decent discount. We also have the Windsor Drop, which I can't really say I would recommend to get your hands on. The Windsor is normally $900,000. This week you can get it for $630,000. It's pretty fast for the coupes category, but its handling is absolutely dookie balls. It has almost no customization going for it. Don't buy it. There's really no reason. And the final vehicle we have is the Adora. I don't know how to spell it. Hopefully that's how you do it. Yes, the Willard Adora. This vehicle is slow. It has very bad top speed. It's expensive at 1.25 million. It does have a taxi livery, so I think you can do taxi work in it, but because it's so slow, you're literally better off with just the free taxi the game gives you anyway. The Adora is normally 1.25. You can get it this week for 900,000, so Yeah, not all too impressive. Now, when it comes to double money, this week you can make double money with the Acid Lab, a very, very nice business. And yeah, I would highly recommend if you don't own an Acid Lab to get your hands on one. You can get it absolutely free in part of the Drug Wars missions. You can do the first dose and second dose missions. You'll get an Acid Lab for free and an Ocelot Virtue, which is really sweet. But if you just want the Acid Lab, you only have to do 6 missions. They're very easy to complete, and they'll earn you a boatload of cash, plus the upgrades are very cheap. So the Acid Lab, great business. I would recommend to get your hands on it. Not only do we have the Acid Lab, but we also have clone killing. Kind of weird sounding, but essentially, when you are in a free roam session, a public lobby, or invite only, your clone will just randomly attack you during some time. And if you kill that clone, you'll get $100,000 and a special mask, which is kind of cool. I'd just do it for the 100K. It's basically free money. So yeah, that is all the bonuses and major discounts this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Apart from that, there's really not much else to say. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the most fantastic week ever, because it really isn't. It's not bad, though. Double money on the Acid Lab is always nice, because the Acid Lab cannot get raided. It's always a business I recommend for people to use in the background, and you can call Mutt on the phone and resupply it, making life so much easier than a lot of other businesses where you have to either fast travel over to your arcade to resupply them all, or go to each individual business if you don't have an arcade yet. So it is nice that the Acid Lab is a beginner-friendly business, the fact that it can't get raided and that you can call Mutt on the phone, plus you can boost your supply once every 24 hours to double production, which lasts around 48 minutes, which is really nice as well. So in general, the Acid Lab is a great business. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!